Why am I sitting behind this microphone and sharing my parenting journey with you? In this episode, I'll answer that question with 3 stories that shape adoption struggles and support. Will my adopted child be okay? What will their future look like? Where did I go wrong? Hi neighbor, I'm Tim, an adoptive parent and adoption mentor. If you're a struggling adoptive parent searching for answers in your parenting journey, you're in the right place. I teach Christian adoptive parents how to be okay, even if their kids aren't, by anchoring them in biblical principles. Anchors of hope and healing are on the way. As we begin this episode today, I'm imagining an adoptive parent has just discovered this podcast. You're struggling. You're questioning your parenting. It's my hope that by sharing these 3 stories that shape this podcast, you will realize you're not alone. The first story I want to share with you is from the new trailer for the podcast. Maybe you're new to the show and have never listened to the trailer. Or maybe you've been with me from day one. Since I changed the name of the podcast to Adoption Struggles and Support, I thought it was important to record a new trailer for the show. In it, you'll hear the mission for this podcast, as well as a question I want to answer for adoptive parents as we move forward in our journey. Listen closely as I play the trailer for you now. Hi neighbor, welcome to a new chapter of our podcast journey. Previously known as Anchors of Encouragement, our podcast is now called Adoption Struggles and Support. We've rebranded to make the podcast easier for struggling adoptive parents to find and access the support they need in their parenting journey. To introduce this new chapter, we released an updated trailer that reflects our renewed focus on providing hope and practical support. The earlier episodes are packed with encouragement and insights, providing a strong foundation of support as we continue this journey together. Anchors of hope and healing are on the way. Did you finally realize your dream of having a family, only to have your happily ever after turn into a nightmare? Are you constantly second-guessing your parenting, anxious about whether your child will make good choices and remain faithful? Have you neglected yourself to the point that it's taken a personal toll on you? If you're a struggling adoptive parent searching for answers in your parenting journey, you're in the right place. Hi neighbor, welcome to Adoption Struggles and Support. I'm Tim, an adoptive parent and adoption mentor. I too felt the joy of having a family of my own, and I wish we could be like other families. But I found myself up late at night, anxious about my adopted child's future and asking myself, will my child be okay? Where did I go wrong? It was only by grabbing a lifeline from God and my friends that I was able to navigate the challenges of adoptive life. And now I can't wait to share everything I've learned with you. My mission is to teach Christian adoptive parents how to be okay, even if their kids aren't, by anchoring them in biblical principles. If you're ready for real and raw talk with strategies that lead to peace beyond comprehension, so you not only survive but thrive in life's storms, this podcast is for you. Anchors of hope and healing are on the way. The second story I have for you that will answer the question why I'm sharing my parenting journey with you on this podcast comes from a listener named Paula. Paula writes, I am not an adoptive mother. I am not a foster mother either. I am a 78-year-old adoptee. I suffered trauma after trauma until I learned to love myself. I want you to know how much I'm learning from your podcast. Not only are you helping adoptive and foster mothers, but you are also giving hope and understanding to adoptees and foster children. Thank you for your guests and interesting topics. Keep up the good work. Thanks also for teaching us how to journal. Just like your other guests, I'm a writer too. God gave me the gift of writing Christian poetry. This review for the show just made my day. I've corresponded back and forth with Paula, and I'm so touched by the fact that she has gain some encouragement from this podcast. Paula picked up on something that has been my intention all along with this show. I'm an adoptive parent, and I'm trying to speak to other adoptive parents and help them in their parenting journeys. But I also realize the content for this show will not only help adoptive parents, but it can also help adoptees. Paula is a testament to that truth. In episode 177, I talked about anchor points for adoptive parents, and I used a passage from the book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 13, where it says, "Take hold of my instructions, don't let them go. Guard them, for they are the key to life." What I didn't say in that episode, and I want to say now since Paula's picked up on it, is if you back up a few verses in Proverbs chapter 4 to verse 10, Solomon wrote this, "My child, listen to me and do as I say, and you will have a long, good life. I will teach you wisdom's ways and lead you in straight paths. When you walk, you won't be held back. When you run, you won't stumble. Take hold of my instructions. Don't let them go. Guard them, for they are the key to life." These instructions will help adoptive parents. And when these adoptive parents can internalize these truths and pass them then on to their adopted children, they will help their adopted children navigate the challenges in their adoption journey. This podcast is for adoptive parents and adopted children as well. Thank you, Paula, for realizing that and sharing your story with us. This brings me to the third and final story I want to share with you today. This podcast is very personal for me. I have shared with you a lot of my personal struggles in my adoption journey, but I've never shared with you my real why I'm doing this podcast in the first place. I do want to help other adoptive parents navigate the challenges of your parenting journey. I know the struggles you're going through. I know the things that I needed and the things that have helped me navigate these challenges. But the real reason I'm sitting behind this microphone and sharing my story with you is for this podcast to do what it did for Paula, to help other adoptees, and specifically to help my boys. I've made a lot of mistakes in my parenting journey. I've tried my best and I keep pressing on. I've learned a lot of things that I wish I had known when we first began our adoption journey, but I've done my best. As I've learned these new anchor points, as I mentioned in episode 177, there are things that I have grabbed hold of that have helped me navigate the struggles I'm facing. And just like Paula realized, these truths not only help adoptive parents, but they help adoptees too. And I know they will help my boys. I know there's going to come a day when I won't be here, and my boys might wonder, what would Dad do? This podcast will be there for them so they can ask, what did Dad do? Dad shared things that will help adoptive parents and adoptees navigate these challenges. It's my prayer that this will not only help them, but other adoptees as well. Well, let's get to your daily doable and see how we can take these 3 stories and have some action steps that you can begin applying today. First of all, I want to encourage you to share this show with other adoptive parents. There are adoptive parents out there who need to hear and know that they aren't alone. This podcast is a testament to my journey and the journey of others that have reached out to me and told me that it has helped them. So please share this show with other adoptive parents. Share this show with other adoptees. Adoptees like Paula have found this podcast and it's helping them. Share it with other adopted children. You can also share this with your friends, friends who aren't adoptive parents, but need to understand the challenges and complexities of the adoption journey. God has blessed us with anchors of encouragement, with people who were willing to listen and take the time to understand what we were going through, and they were there to support us. You can also bless the mission of this show by leaving a review for it on Apple Podcasts. Your reviews help this show reach a broader audience. Why am I sitting behind this microphone and sharing my parenting journey with you? It's to be an anchor of encouragement for other adoptive parents. It's to be an anchor of encouragement for adoptees like Paula. And it's to be an anchor of encouragement for my two boys. That's all for this episode. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Before I go, I would like to extend an invitation to join our private Facebook community. There you will find other adoptive parents, adoptees, and supporters of adoptive parents and adoptees. Please see the show notes for the link. Until next time, this is Tim, encouraging you to do what you can now. I hope today's episode encouraged you to face the storms in your parenting journey with courage and confidence. If so, would you please share this episode with another adoptive parent? It would also bless me and the mission of this podcast if you would take a couple of minutes and leave a review for the show on Apple Podcasts. Until next time, this is Tim, encouraging you to do what you can now.